Constantino,
Go like
pound for pound.
here with Oscar Valdez, who's fighting Andres Gutierrez, November 30, 10 days away. Oscar, you look in tremendous shape. I had the pleasure of watching you spar a little bit. I mean, talk about the camp.
I mean, camp has been great. I'm thankful for Eddie for putting in the time and the effort with me. I take this job very seriously. I just come in the gym, do my work, and the same effort I put in the gym, Eddie does too. So we've had a great camp. There's not one thing that went wrong. Great in terms of conditioning, sparring, the nutrition. Everything's gone well. So we're ready for this fight. A lot of people might not know Andres Gutierrez. I personally think he's a tough fighter. I'm not taking him lightly at all. I never take no fight lightly, but I'm just excited right now and for this new experience at 130, and I'm gonna do my best to come out victorious because my dream is to become a world champion now in a different weight class, 130. So I'm ready and prepared for whatever's coming in front of me.
This is your third camp with Eddie. Do you feel like you're finally getting the rhythm of everything he's teaching you, as far as defense or whatever?
I feel
else?
everything in general is just coming through now. I know that I wasn't going to learn everything from one training camp, but even though my first training camp, I felt like I learned a lot. Now this is my third training camp with them, and I feel now for sure we adapted. Now we're clicking in the gym. Now I understand what he's trying to tell me. Now I understand why so much repetitions for certain punches that I've never thrown before that often. But there's just work ethic I think is great. We've been doing a great job in the gym. And I feel we really are clicking, and we're planning on showing it this November 30th.
Now, obviously, Oscar Valdez, there's no surprise that you know how to fight, whether it turns into a war or brawling. But is there any other more aspects that you've learned as far as like maybe defense that we know might be Eddie's bread and butter?
Eddie and I, we talked about this since the first time we sat down and talked. We talked about being a defensive fighter doesn't mean you're going to be a boring fighter, and that's one thing that he told me. He says that I'm not here to change your style. Your style is great. You tell me that my style is fan pleasing. The crowd likes me because I go forward and I try to put up a good fight. But that doesn't mean we have to take punches. We could also be counter punchers and be great defensive fighters, but at the same time being attractive. Like fighters like Juan Marquez, who are great counter punchers and great defense fighters, but people still consider them a warrior and attractive fight. So that's one of the things that me and Eddie have been working on. That we don't have to change our style. We can still come forward fighters, aggressive fighters, but just more cautious and trying to protect ourselves at all times.
Now, obviously, you vacated the title. You didn't lose it. Do you feel more comfortable now that you don't have to cut as much weight?
Oh yeah, definitely. I can feel a big difference when it comes to my attitude in the gym, from my strength,
Can you talk about that when you talk about the attitude?
When a fighter's losing weight, I'm pretty sure 95% of fighters go through the same thing. We're cutting down weight. We're always in a bad mood. Mood swings. We're grumpy all the time. Any little thing will bother us because you're dehydrated. You you hardly eat. And it's just everything's just frustrating. Now that I'm 130, it doesn't mean I'm still not cutting down weight. I come down from 150 pounds, still trying to make 130 pounds. It's not easy, but it's way better than making 126. So I feel a big difference in the gym. I feel I'm faster, I'm stronger, and most importantly, the most important for me is the health. So I feel healthier now. I feel like I can obey more. For a lot of people, it might make sense this, but you pay more attention from what your coach is telling you because you got more energy and you're just healthier. So I feel the difference now at 130, trying to make 130. So right now probably 10 pounds over, but we can drop those the last couple of days. But I just feel healthy right now. I'm feeling ready, and I feel that we did the right decision going into super featherweight.
And apart from working with Eddie, I saw a little clip that you were working in there with Canelo. Was he teaching you a few things? Or?
Oh yeah, he was just trying to teach me how does he uses the ropes. Trying to use some tips. Telling me that a lot of fighters are scared to be in the ropes. That being in the ropes is a bad thing. Get out of the ropes, because you're gonna get hit. and that's not necessarily true. You know, sometimes you got to learn how to use the ropes. And that's something that Canelo was trying to teach me. You know, learn the distance from how you can lean back from the ropes and take advantage of the ropes. Something that he does very well. Something that Floyd Mayweather does well, and there's a lot of other fighters who do that as well. You know, and that's something new for me because I'm used to being in the center of the ring, exchanging punches and stuff like that. But those type of tips, could save you from a fight, from a war, and can make you win a fight. So every little advice that I get from fighters that have been in the ring and the highlight, like Canelo and other fighters, I try to get them as much as possible. I analyze them and try to do them in the gym. So one day in a fight, if it comes to it, I'll be prepared to do it inside the ring.
Oscar Valdez, personally one of my favorites, if not my favorite, to watch inside the ring. Very excited to fight, and you already kind of eased into, I wouldn't say ease into that weight, but you already fought the bigger guy when you fought Scott Quick, so you already sampled maybe of what is to come.
And I think I'm gonna feel better in this weight class because making 126, the last 3 or 4 fights, I wasn't feeling the same. After the 5th or the 6th round, I wasn't feeling as strong enough. I felt my legs weren't 100% there no more. I just wasn't feeling I wasn't feeling in shape like how I am in the gym. I always train 100% in the gym, and I shouldn't be so tired in the fights. I shouldn't be that exhausted only in the 4th or 5th round. When I sparred 12 rounds, when I sparred even 14 rounds before, and then just do all these rounds and train so hard. It shouldn't be like that. But I blame all that to the cutting down in weight. I feel that was the main problem. But now at 130, I have confidence in myself that I'm gonna feel stronger and just be a better fighter in general.
And Oscar, one of the last very few questions I ask is, there's a lot of exciting fights for you to make at the weight class. Is there one specifically that stands out to you the most?
I mean, any other fighter out there who was 130 pounds, who's not a champion, or including the other champions, there's one in general who everybody wants to fight, which is Miguel Berchelt, and he has a WBC belt. Everybody wants that belt. That's the reason why everybody wants him so bad. That's the one I want too. But first things first. I got Andres Gutierrez in front of me. I can't take him lightly. But if God wants and everything goes well, of course I will want to fight Miguel Berchelt because I consider him the best out of 130 pounds. And once you're a champion, everybody wants to fight you. I bet you that everybody in 130 pounds wants to fight Berchelt because he's the guy to beat. He has the belt. He has the green belt that everybody wishes to get.
Last question for me, Oscar. You heard those comments. He said, do you have anything to say about that, or that he said he really wants that fight with you?
Oh, yeah.
Personal, what's that about?
It's not a personal. The contrary, we're friends. Okay. We actually live in the same hometown in Hermosillo, Sonora. And he's a great guy. He's a champion inside the ring and outside the ring. But we just want to prove who's the best. There's nothing personal. I wish him nothing but the best. But I want to take that belt so bad away from him, and he wants to defend it so bad. So I think a fight with him and myself, we both know this is just he knows and I know. We both know it's going to be a great fight. And we once said it to each other. We're going to end up fighting one day. And we're, hugging each other and we say, man, but we're going to give a war. We're going to give the fans what they want. So it's nothing personal. It won't be a Barrera and Morales fight outside the ring, that personal, but it will be inside the ring. So everybody can expect that. But first things first, like I said, I can't get ahead of myself. I got Andres Gutierrez deserves the same respect that any other fighter out there. If I win that fight, I win my shot to fight Miguel Berchelt, but first things first.
Thank you, Oscar. Appreciate your time. Always.